Hello, my name is Jasmine Lee, and I am not your mama's astrologer. Welcome to the week. I am coming to you from the land of I don't wanna. Okay, this weekend's energy was quite enough. I mean, I am in nail purgatory. I have put on fake nails. I am afraid to take them off, so I still have them. And it's a mystery to me how people exist with them all the time. I feel like I am disabled. I cannot even zip up and button my pants properly. What is that? Well, I'll tell you, this weekend, it was the Mars-Pluto opposition. And however you felt that, it was big energy. So whether you were doing a lot, whether you weren't doing much, whether you're like making big dick moves, breaking up, getting back together, starting something new, going to a party, that's what I did. I went to a party. And I have a story back fresh for you from the land of Mars-Pluto opposition vibes. So I have this dress. I've had this dress. I was a photographer for a really long time, and I did this photo shoot of 3 of my most beautiful friends in the most beautiful dress. And as payment, I got one of those dresses. But because I am a Libra and collect pretty things, my friends were always so much more beautiful than me. And so I never felt like I could wear this dress. And I've had this dress for a really long time, like 8 years or something really gross and ridiculous like that. And I just didn't have the stomach to put it on because I didn't feel beautiful in this dress. Here comes my school's auction night. It's Midsummer Night's Dream. This dress be poppin' in that theme kind of way. And I know that I'm not gonna buy another dress because I don't like wearing dresses. So it came time to put on this dress, and I've had it altered to fit the bust well, and I still, every time I put on this dress, it would make me cry because I would absolutely not feel beautiful in it because I could close my eyes and imagine so many more beautiful women in it than me. Imposter syndrome, this feeling of I am not good enough. And here's Mars that was coming out of Cancer, this very emotional sign where it's very uncomfortable, and into Leo. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to evolve it, shift it, change it, and be seen by it? Opposing Pluto in Aquarius. That's all about the rebel, doing something new, changing it, making it something different. And so that's kind of my weekend. I had friends come and help move my boobs in a way that was really quite impressive. I mean, listen, it was ugly on the inside, but beautiful on the cleavage outside. I was in the bathroom and she's hoisting my boobs up and taping it, and there's pasties, and oh my God, you should have seen what it looked like under that dress. But in I went. And there I went to an event where I was reading cards for people. I was in front of everybody, and I'm not going to say that I loved it. I'm not going to tell you I felt truly 100% amazingly beautiful, unstoppable, like all those like hot women songs. I'm not having hot girl summer so far. That's not how I felt. I still felt self-conscious. I still felt a little out of my own skin in a way that was really hard and challenging. Mars opposing Pluto. It was time to transform, and I did it, and I'm glad that I did it. And now I'm very glad to donate that dress because it feels like it was a part of me, this part of not liking myself, this part of not being willing to shift my attitude, my self-worth, my fill in the blank of bullshit behavior. And it just hung there in my house for all these years, making me feel like I wasn't beautiful. And so I wore the damn thing. I taped my boobs. I still have these horrible nails, and I did it. And I often find that when we do things that are hard, or we do things that make us feel a certain type of way about ourselves, or we do things that bring up our insecurities, you're not going to always get that movie star book response in yourself of, I did it, I nailed that shit, I'm such a boss ass bitch. That's not at all like what the experience was for me. But what it was cathartic. that I did it, that I chose to put myself, more specifically my boobies, out there. And my friends were so kind to me. The people around me built me up. The friend who taped my boobs was there to support me. My lovely partner's daughter, who feels like my daughter, adjusted my dress to make me feel better. There was this ring of support that eased the tension of that feeling that I'm not good enough, that I won't look as good in that dress as those beautiful women I took pictures of before, and whom I miss, whom I don't get to see very often, and some I don't talk to at all anymore. And so it just brought up so much. It brought up my divorce. It brought up not being good enough on such an extreme big level that I think it almost became absolutely necessary to wear that dress regardless. My boobs could have been just completely out of the dress and I still would have had to wear it because I recognized in myself a block that needed unblocking. And I did that. And it didn't feel great. Like, I didn't end up being like, oh my gosh, it's all healed. But I do recognize and notice that I moved the energy, that I did something that was different than what I normally do. And I decided to step into it, at least for that few hours, with confidence and owned it. The night was splendid. I had a wonderful time. I have a massive, exhausting feeling inside of me now. Because when you move big energy, so you see, like, that Pluto-Mars opposition wasn't necessarily a big fight. It wasn't necessarily something really big and bad and irksome, like maybe it was for you or for the world or for other situations. For me, it was just this little thing of, from the outside, it probably didn't look like anything. It probably just looked like a freaking middle-aged girl wearing a little princess dress. Fine, great, you know, but on the inside and all the work that was going on in me to wear that dress was where I met that Mars-Pluto opposition. And then the next day, on Sunday, we had that new moon in Taurus. And it was about refoundationing. It was about what nourishes you. It was about how we feel safe. And I have to tell you, I woke up feeling self-conscious. I woke up feeling really in my skin. And Taurus is so about the senses, the tactile, the things we can see and touch and taste and smell and hear and all of that. And I just felt overstimulated from all of it. And so I went to breakfast with a friend, a new friend, and I laid low and I went on a walk and I put myself out in nature and I did exactly what a new moon would want me to do, which is set new intentions for myself around how I feel safe, who I feel safe with. And this incredible wave of vulnerability washed over me, and I felt safe in that vulnerability. And I have a feeling it was that Mars-Pluto opposition and wearing that freaking dress that helped me to move all of that energy. So here we are Monday, and whew, I'm tired. Getting my body to move this morning, feeling like addressing my podcast, it all feels really sticky, really hard, really irksome. I've been really cranky and kind of grumpy girl over here. And I think sometimes when we move big energy, we don't always become the hero of our stories. We don't always change overnight, and we don't always feel great afterwards. Sometimes we have a transition hangover, man. And that's what I have today, is all that vulnerability, all that open-heartedness, and all of those boobs really took me for a ride, and I'm still quietly integrating everything that's happened. This week, we have a lot going on with Venus. We have Venus moving into Aries. She was in retrograde. She had been in Aries. So here she comes back into Aries. And then we have Venus and Neptune coming together this week. And then Pluto's going retrograde. So those are the big three. These are the big things that are going on. My cats are fighting. Venus and Aries. It's about me. It's not about you. It's about me. And yeah, Venus has been on an emotional tour of our relationships and where it's imbalanced and where our focus needs to be. There's been a lot of breakups, there's been a lot of makeups, and there's been a lot of shifting patterns. And that's really what I want to talk about this week, because with Venus and Neptune being close together in Aries, it's dreamy, but it's also like, you can do things that you couldn't do before. You've leveled up on some profound space-time continuum that either feels great or feels challenging or makes you exhausted. Me, check, 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 all three. And when Neptune and Venus come together, they want to have a conversation about where can we upgrade? Where can we up level? And it starts with listening to your dreams. Not just, I have a dream where I want to be prettier and like my boobs more. It's more like, what are your actual subconscious dreams trying to tell you right now? So paying attention to those, being extra conscious about your sleep space, about how you go to sleep, about how you wake up, about all of those rhythms. Thus, my partner and I have been deciding to put our phones away and to turn off all the electrical stuff an hour before bed so that we get deeper sleep, so that we're not depending on our little weird dopamine social media hits before bed. It's about making that space and making that time to find clarity before bed. Because if we're just doom scrolling, I just look at kitties and funny memes, as if any of you follow my Instagram, I love. But that wasn't serving me either. Like, that's not setting me up for a cozy bedtime. That's not helping my subconscious relax. It's really letting the outside world in. And we don't want that before bed. And we want those messages to be clean, to be true. And if we're feeding it garbage, then, we probably won't remember our dreams, or we won't hit the REM cycle in the right way, or we'll wake up more tired. And so an hour before bed. And then I try also right when I wake up to not just jump to the social media, to not just jump to anything but peeing and a glass of water. And then seeing myself start to arise, start to wake up, and then I can engage with the world. And then I can open up my space to whatever needs to come in. But Venus wants to make us more proactive when it comes to ourselves. And the only way we can truly be more proactive when it comes to ourselves is to change patterns and habits that are limiting us. And I've got a lot of them. My eating habits, my television habits, my technology habits are all par for the course, up for review, and I'm deeply wanting to shift it because I felt something this weekend. I felt like I moved something this weekend, and I don't want to forget that I did that. And sometimes when we get into the humdrum of the week and the obligations and the things that need to happen, well, then sometimes we forget ourselves too. Sometimes we forget to continue that growth cycle, to really dig into what it was that shifted and to allow it to continue to move me, move you, movement, moving your body this week. Aries is about the body. And so when Venus and Neptune have a conversation together, the best way you can honor that is by your dreamy dreams and by your body, enriching it. We're in Taurus season after all. Taurus loves its food, its nourishment, its security, its foundationing. And when it's meeting with Aries, having that conversation, it's about you. It's not about anybody else. It's not about anybody else's routines or habits. It's about yours, because all you can really do and have control over is yourself, is your response mechanisms, is your dietary habits, is your sleeping habits. And imagine if you got on the same page as your soul and body with what it really needed, then it wouldn't be so confusing about what's lacking in us or what we're wanting to deeply move and shift, because we'll have checked the boxes of what a human body, what our beautiful flesh bags need to at least have an operating system that's high functioning. Because if we don't have that either, then our deeper emotions, then our deeper conflicts, then our big journeys, our big hills, our hero's arcs are going to feel absolutely insurmountable. So recognizing our unhealthy patterns, being willing to shapeshift them a little bit, recognizing our unhealthy relationships, being willing to distance ourselves, and recognizing our very healthy ones and leaning into those in pure vulnerability and our trueness of spirit. That's really what this week is about. And then this week also Pluto goes retrograde. And everybody makes a big deal out of that because Pluto is like the pinnacle of big dick energy, and I get it, it is. But Pluto really goes retrograde 6 months out of every year. So while yes, Pluto going retrograde is an astrological event that's happening this week, it's not the biggest. It's more like we got this little taste of Pluto in Aquarius, of where things can change, how we can change it, what the transformation process that would feel new to us could be. And then it's going to go back a little bit and we're going to review like our readiness for change, like our governmental systems that make it hard to change, like our lifestyle personally that makes it hard to change. So there's kind of a structure here to this week around our habitual being. So what are some habits you have? This is your homework to get to the cookie. What are some habits you have that are holding you up? And it's okay if you're not ready to change them. It is. It's okay if you're not ready to balls to the wall, do something that feels threatening. I don't know if I'm ready to like fully give up TV. I love a good basketball game or UFC Saturdays or some reality television just for funsies. I do, and it is part of how I relax. Should it be part of how I relax every day or for loads of time every day? Probably not. So it's really just about admitting to yourself what it is. And if you feel shame around it, if you feel triggered by thinking about it or admitting it to me, this podcaster here, then that is interesting. It's something to be curious about. It's something to write down. It's something to contemplate because really we are the creators of our reality. And when Venus and Neptune come together and Pluto goes retrograde, it's like, okay, we want to change. We want to move towards our more beautiful selves. My cat. Do you hear his song? He is like a rooster. He does this at like 5 o'clock in the morning. Anyway, he wants to steal the show. The truth is, what we want to create and make our life more beautiful, to make our life filled with our dreamscapes and what our truest desires are, requires a lot of honesty on our parts. It requires me to get a little more honest about all of those habits and to be like, exercise is something I really, really suck at. I don't enjoy it a whole lot. I do when I'm doing it, but it's not like something that I have a lot of go-getter spirit to want to go do. But I know that when I do it, I am a better version of myself for many reasons. One, because we should all be moving our bodies. I went to massage school, move it or lose it. If you're not moving it, then it's getting stuck and it's getting kinked and it's got to move to stay healthy. So yes, cheers to health. I want that for myself. But also, let's take it a step deeper and not just think about it in terms of health. Look at my most ridiculous dress story that I started this podcast with. How I couldn't even muster the gumption to love myself even that night, even though I did it and I felt brave doing it and I felt hella vulnerable and I'm glad I did it and I do feel like I moved energy. There is still always that feeling of those other girls that were wearing that dress in my mind, that I will never be beautiful by any standard, clauses, because Hollywood makes it absolutely impossible to be standardly beautiful. I'm like the special selection aisle, okay? You go to me for something specific that you're looking for. I'm a specialty item. And I really am deep down okay with that. But I think every woman, every girl has that feeling inside themselves sometimes of, I wish I could feel as beautiful as all of the women I see that I think are beautiful. I wish that I felt that about myself. And so exercise, yes, good for the body. Yes, move it or lose it. But also if I was exercising more, maybe that would shift how I'm actually feeling about my own body. Because if I'm putting effort into it, then it helps to move that energy towards the self-worth. it's also just a mental game. And finding self-worth doesn't come in a pretty package of just exercising and eating well. It comes with believing in yourself in a way that I just never have. And so I'm very thoughtful with this Venus-Neptune conjunction this week about how I can mend it. And so what's your bugaboo? Like, maybe it's totally different from mine. It probably is. What is the thing that holds you up in this way? What is the thing that you feel like your whole life through has followed you around and made you a sassy, insecure little bitch? Because that's what mine is. And the card I pulled for this week is soulmates. And the truth is, you are your own soulmate. It's you. That's the answer. There's no outside person, resource that's going to be able to replace who you are to yourself. And Venus in Aries wants to show us that. Neptune in Aries wants to show us that. It's my cat wants to show you that. It's like, no matter what, you are what you get at the end of all of this growth, at the end of all of this transition and movement. You are your own piece. You are your own soulmate. And so what can you do? What habit can you break to enjoy yourself more, to empower yourself more, and to be a little more bold in this life? May you find it. May I find it. May that dress get the fuck out of my house and heal me on a level that is probably more subconscious than conscious, but to continue the self-love journey with or without fake nails. Thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, message me. I give readings if it is your birthday month. I do solar return readings, which is about the energy that you have to give this year. So hit me up, guys, and I'll see you next week.